Just like that.
All right, we getting it in here, Coach. We getting them in, Coach.
They coming on in.
Yes,
we
sir.
want to know about this Florida A&M thing.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about it. Tell you the truth.
Hey, they done got their A. Yeah, they done got it in.
Yeah, Florida, they done took all the HBCU guys. They always hollering they the best. They ain't look like it now.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Coach. They getting in here. Hey. I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner, hosted by none other than the SWAC legend himself, Johnnie Cole. I'm his trusty sidekick, Rocky, and we do have some news to talk about today, Coach. Yeah, this is the first week that we've been on in a long time where all 12 SWAC teams have a coach. It's been a while, ain't it, Coach?
Hey, what you say? The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and I would hate to, we supposed to just be coming back on, Coach, after taking a hiatus or some time off. We should be just now returning, but we hadn't even taken a break yet, Coach, because of all the drama they've been having over in the highest of Seven Hills.
Yeah.
So, Coach, before we get started with any of that, Coach, let me know. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great, Coach, man. You're always, man. It's one of the favorite times of the day is to come on and speak to our SWAC audience and friends and family and comrades and we SWAC, baby. I'm SWAC. I'm a throne you. Not yet, but I'm a.
You gonna anoint me, Coach?
I'm gonna anoint you, Coach. Not yet, though. Not yet. That's why we got to do this SWAC tour, so you can walk down some of these, like at Texas Southern, we got the Tiger Walk. You know what I mean? So once you walk down, and I'm gonna bam, bam, and bam. And then I want you to say, I'm SWAC.
Hey, Coach. Hey, after all this I've been through the last month, Coach, I've been to board meetings of virtually to 2 colleges, 2 HBCUs. I've seen some really high-level maneuvering so that, alumni and fans could get their choice at coach. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring on the bishop himself, the man with a plan, FAMU's faithful alumni, none other than Bishop Campbell. Y'all have a coach. Tell me how you feel. What does it feel like to finally have a coach after a whole month of seeking and searching?
Man, listen, it feels like when you get that tax refund check that first time. And you about to spend that money on something you ain't supposed to spend it on. Coach, you know what I'm saying? Or when you had that first job and get that first paycheck, knowing doggone well you didn't make enough money, but you just happy to get that check on that Friday. So I feel just got paid.
Look at this dressing top. He ain't time. He ain't wearing no Florida A&M stuff.
Coach, let me tell you.
On, man?
Coach, let me tell you something. I'm so excited I had to dress up for the occasion. You know what I mean? I had to dress up for the occasion. I'm gonna put a suit on after I saw what I saw yesterday, Coach. And and our basketball team got to win against JSU. So it's a good day down there in the highest of Seven Hills.
They got to win against Jackson State.
Man, listen, the men's basketball team, Florida A&M's men's basketball team, won a basketball game against my JSU Tigers. I'm about to say it like that. Hey man, listen, the men and the women were up for like 10 seconds. I almost thought we were gonna have a double. Rocky, let me tell you something. If the women had a win, then I would have known God was a rattler. It would have been no doubt in my mind. Jackson State men's basketball. They had been riding kind of high until they came on down there to the highest of Seven Hills.
Man, I see that.
That was a big upset. That's a big
upset. Man, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's funny. You ain't gonna see no board meetings. You ain't gonna see no search firm when whatever she do with that basketball coach. Ain't nobody. Everybody gonna be like, "Hey, good job, do whatever you got." You ain't gonna see no board meetings, coach. You ain't gonna see no search firms, no search committees. She just gonna wake up one morning and say, "That's our new basketball coach," and that's all we gonna care about.
Ain't nobody gonna say a word.
Ain't gonna say a word, coach. Let me tell you something. Now, she wanna establish her legacy. She can establish it right there on that basketball court. Because I swear to God, it was only about 20 people at that game. So, like I said, if she really want to build something, I tell you, there's a spot right there for her. Leave the football alone and go over there to the basketball. I'm telling you, you could be a hero down there.
I think she learned that. I think she learned that.
But, you know, we talked about this weekend after the social media post by FAMU Athletics posted that they had selected Coach COLZIE as the 19th head coach of Florida A&M. We also but we hadn't responded since the monumental press conference yesterday. Let me get you. Were you able to see the press conference, Coach Cole?
No, man. You know, man. I'm gonna leave that to the Florida A&M folks.
Now, well, let me give.
I will get to it.
Well, let me say, Mr. Campbell, what was your impressions of the press conference?
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I was very happy because once again, that was the first time we had saw our new coach. This is the first time that we saw the original big girl speak about our new coach. But I'm gonna tell you what's funny, Coach Cole. You know, we last week we said what she should say to the people, right? We said that right here on this show. Right. Me and you told them what they should say. Now, you know what's funny, Coach? I'm telling you something. She watched this show. So she said verbatim what we said she should have said. She watched this show. It was no question. We told her that right here, we had what we needed. Doing an extensive search. She said it all, Coach. She took notes. I'm proud of her. So that means we're making an impact that she's watching this show because we tell the truth.
I want to check.
Listen. She's giving everybody else a check. We might well get something. Golly, $25,000 for 6 days of work. Man, come on.
Yeah, was it really 6 days of work?
Listen. I'm gonna tell you like my friend used to tell me. Days are all relative. 24 hours a day, but I don't mean I work 24 hours. And them boys clearly didn't work no 24 hours a day.
The portal was opened up on Thursday and it was closed on Sunday.
Well, you know, they had to work all the way through until the end. So you got to give them credit all the way through to the end. So that's where they get the 6 days. And then 7th day they rested. So there you go.
Okay. Right. Now let me ask you this. Well, my impressions of the press conference was there was a lot of bullshit going on. Meaning that she actually gave a speech that made it seem like COLZIE was her guy.
How about that?
Hey, that sounds like Granger. You know, Granger, I made this happen. And the world know who you wanted. Wow.
Like, Coach, she made it in the press conference. You would have made it think that against all odds, she searched high and low and found the perfect guy for the job.
Wow.
And it happened to
right
be
up
James
underneath
Coach.
your nose.
Huh?
You said the same thing I said, right underneath your nose.
Coach, it wasn't underneath. She actually turned her nose up to that hire, and that's what happened. But she had to get redirected. So that's what really happened.
So that
was the funny thing.
And okay, so 2 weeks ago, Coach Cole looked into this camera and said, "Hey, FAMU alumni, you do know she's the AD, and she makes that hire."
That's right.
Can you still say that today, Coach Cole?
Yes, with the right process. At the end of the day, it's going to come out from her. Ain't nobody else going to make that announcement but her. What she got to understand is it don't matter how you get there. It's that you get there the right way. you know. So and that's what she's got to understand. You know, you don't throw your weight around when you in programs like this. You know what I mean? This ain't just no any program. This is one of the best in HBCU, if not the best, and a perennial winning program. Let's get that straight. So I think she understands now. Hey, great learning tool for her. Hopefully some of the other athletic directors have been watching. And, you know, like you say, some of them needed to be in the third and second seat where they don't make these mistakes anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
And Dr. D makes a comment, those snake shoes and that girl was fine. She fooled you, Rocky. He was her guy. Yeah, I know he was. I know he was. And what I'll ask you on a serious note, Coach, was this her hire though? Did she get bullied into this? Did the FAMU alumni force her hand, or is this her hire?
Well, I don't know her, but of course she's an intelligent woman. And what makes you intelligent is when you get information and knowledge. And, you know, and when your pride get in the way, your pride sometimes make you make bad decisions. But instead, she got a second chance at it, Bishop Campbell. And she heard some other things from other people about the choices that she made. She don't understand that if she would have made that choice with Gibbs, she would have been out on an island. And she would have been walking there every week like this. And when you don't have to do that, when you don't have to make a decision on your own and blow up a ship, you're sailing. All you got to do is keep it in the middle of the road. So hopefully she's learned from that. I'm pretty sure she have. It was a great experience, and let's see how it goes. Here's one thing about it, though, Bishop. If he don't win, she gonna be all right.
But you know what? But see, I like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but see, this is called accountability. To your point, the alumni and the fans had a choice, right? So Coach COLZIE, or anybody on the staff, let's be honest. Anybody, if Coach Smitty Rock had a guy, Coach Roll, we would have been fine, okay? But the bigger thing was we didn't want to lose the players to the portal. We looked at the pros and cons, and that's really what it came down to. And there was no Trey Oliver coming, no Larry Scott coming, and everybody else was really second-tier candidates.
Well, so I think though you're right. You're 100% right. But also, those guys deserve to stay together. Those coaches on that staff deserve another opportunity to make a run at it. You know what I'm saying? And blowing up the ship was not the best idea.
No. Well, I want to make a couple of points about some of the things what AD Sykes said. But first of all, Rocky, she started off with the shade because the first thing that she said, I got a coach that's going to care about academic excellence and APR. So that we already knew what that was about. So she already has laid that out. So basically, if I cannot get what I want, I'm going to tell you what I need and what I'm going to demand. And you know what? For me, just tell me what the rules of the game are. So you know what? Coach COLZIE understands that. She's laid that out. So she might even say, you know what? I'm just going to tell you, you wasn't my choice. You wasn't my choice. But I'm going to tell you what I want. Because I wanted a guy, APR guy. You're going to have to be an APR guy. Coach COLZIE is up to that task. Those coaches are up to that task. The compliance, those players are up to that task. So I think that's an easy hurdle to jump over. I think the next thing, which was pretty funny to me, when she said we did this extensive search. The search wasn't extensive. We had high school coaches that were interviewed. There was no any vetting of that list. Anybody that put their name on there wasn't there. So I'm not going to give you that. So if you want to tell us that there was this extensive search firm that went out and pulled these names, no. You're not going to tell me that. And last but not least, I think what I hope she understands is that, to your point, you cannot be out on an island. You have got to work with the collective for the greater good of the university. So I hope that she has learned from this experience that, you know what, I need the alumni. I need the athletes. I need the administration. I need myself. to all be going in the same direction. So what I'm really hoping is that she learns from this and understand that the next choice that she makes, you know, talk to some stakeholders, understand, because she's, like I said, she's going to have to make some decisions with that basketball team. There's no doubt about it. She's going to have to make a decision.
How long you been there?
Huh?
How long has he been there?
I want to say this is Coach McCollum's 5th year. I want to say that. Yeah, I want to say it's 5th year. I want to say that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we have not had anywhere close to a winning season. And we got one of the best, as they say, gyms in the SWAC, and you can't put 100 people in that gym. There's no way that you can't get talent in Florida and Atlanta to come down to play basketball in Florida A&M with such a nice facility and things like that. Once again, that's going to be something that's going to be very interesting. But like I said, that's where she can make her mark at. So I'm going to be curious to see what she does.
Yeah, tell her I got a coach for her too. You
Listen,
there up in Atlanta.
She might as well listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe they'll have another portal coach and make sure he just puts his name in the portal. So that's the thing. So you know, and real quick, somebody's asking potentially who our next QB is. Well, here's the thing. We're going to get, Coach, I know we're going to get in this a little bit later, but I keep seeing this question. We have a young man that transferred from FAU who started, probably has more playing time than anybody else in the SWAC coming back. So, and he played at a higher level. So we got quarterback, because people's asking who our quarterback. And we got Junior that's been there for 3 years. He's going to have an opportunity to go get that position. So he's been there. So I think the quarterback position is not something that people are going to be shocked, like we're just going to be shooting in the dark on that. So I just wanted to put that out because I keep hearing that.
Well, you know, I wasn't real high on the one y'all just had, and he won the national championship. So if this guy's even close.
So that's what my point. That's what my point was with the people who were criticizing who's your quarterback. I'll say this: FAMU didn't win the SWAC because of their quarterback. He was the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year or SWAC MVP or whatever, really by default. You know what I mean? But they didn't win the SWAC because of the quarterback. So I don't think the quarterback in this particular situation is going to swing the pip. Because here's the reality. What dominant quarterback is returning in the SWAC?
There is none. There is none, to be honest with you.
Body, I just got some information on Body this weekend. Hell, he's starting quarterback right now for Alabama State.
Well, yeah, because the other quarterback transferred, Coach. So yeah.
The other one
he left.
Then they had a freshman there that it's probably going to end up playing behind Body.
Yeah,
but Body can't believe the facilities they have at Alabama State either.
Yeah.
You know, so he's having a great time there and enjoying it.
Well, I think Andrew's going to be amazing. Like I say, I'll say this. I believe we had a shot to get him down at FAMU, I believe. But again, this is what happens when you don't have your stuff together. You know, so I'm happy for him to go down to Alabama State. I think he's going to do well. Like I say, as long as he just got one game to play us, and then after that, I'm rooting for him for every other game. So that's one of my nephews, so there's no doubt about it. I'm super excited for him.
Yeah. I just hope that they put him in the right system there. You know, he's a system kind of quarterback to me. You know, he's not necessarily a pocket passer, but he can make some throws. You know what I mean? But he's exciting. I mean, he's more. I would put him in a Lamar Jackson role. You know, he's that type of guy. You know, he's electrifying sometimes. It's, you know, when you make him throw the ball 30, 40 times, I don't think that's his strong point.
Yeah. So that's going to be the things you're going to have to work on.
Yeah. Well, what we've seen from Andrew is that he's been able to take over a game at times, right? And we haven't seen that from a lot of players that play quarterback in the SWAC. You know what I mean? Playing right now, current playing. So I think that gives him an edge as far as quarterback. But I don't think that he swings the pendulum all the way over to Alabama State, considering that TSU had him for 2 years and you were able to see they had they had some success with him, but not tremendous success with him at quarterback. So you have to keep that in mind. Now he may Go ahead.
We ain't talking about the yards and the passing. We talking about the W's.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the only way. You can't win a SWAC championship by having the most yards, most touchdown passes, and all that. None of that counts on your record. It's about W's. And again, you know, a lot of people.
Go ahead.
No, a lot of people objected to my position that once FAMU selected COLZIE, they reclaimed the throne as the top team going into the 2024 season. A lot of people gave me pushback on that, but I don't see how you can argue with that considering the talent they have returning. Also, Coach COLZIE said that you guys have a guy, Rodney Hill, who had previously entered the portal, was going to University of Miami, and he says he's flipped that commitment to FAMU, back to FAMU now.
Well, let me say this a little history, Buff. Little history. The most prolific passer in the SWAC's history, and tandem between a quarterback and a wide receiver, Willie Totten and Jerry Rice, they didn't win the SWAC. They did not win the SWAC.
They didn't.
They lost to Alcorn State, who went 10-0.
And played one of the greatest HBCU, one of the greatest college football games ever played. Yes. And I was in that stadium with 63,000 people on a Sunday. That's how big the game was. They had to move it to a Sunday.
Yeah. And people were sitting in the walkway. Yeah. They had sold over the amount of tickets.
Where was that game played?
In Jackson, at Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. See, when we was on the SWAC tour, me, Willie, and the quarterback at Alcorn, you know, we all hung out a little bit. You know, we knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was a heck of a game, man. Heck of a game. It was tight. But as you were saying, I think that COLZIE and his group, man, they got to do a lot of soul searching to be able to not jump over each other's. That's what I worry about. They got the players, but it's about the relationship between the coaches and how they get it back over to the players. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Willie was doing, all you got to do is squeeze the trigger, man. You don't have to change it. Just squeeze it. So hopefully all that happens and take place. But they, like you said, Rocky, I mean, they way better talent than most teams in our conference.
I completely agree, and again, you know, everybody else has to battle it out for second place at this point, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey,
again,
what you say? It's like the Republican race, huh?
Yeah, it's Trump and everybody else.
Everybody going for second place.
Yeah, again, you know, especially when you come into you guys may remember a year like this, Coach Cole. Has there ever been a year going into a SWAC season where there is not a dominant coach in the league? There's not a championship coach in the league. There's not one guy. There's not one championship level coach in the league. Have you ever remember a year like that where, you know, you don't have a Dion, you don't have a Fobbs, you don't have a Pete Richardson, you don't have I forget the gentleman at Jackson State, Comagy. You don't have a Comagy. Yeah. Well, you don't have a Comagy.
Well, definitely coaching wise, that you don't have these strong coaches that we had when either I came through as a player or as a coach. You know, you had several strong coaches that every year you know, in the 90s on to now. I mean, you had Jackson State has won it. Grambling has won it. Southern has won it. Alabama State has won it. You know what I'm saying? It's been the only teams that, even when Willie Totten was coaching Ballard, you know, they were tough. You know, you had Coleman at Pine Bluff. My man coached there for 10 years, Rocky. 2 winning seasons, right? They were SWAC champions. They were SWAC champ. He won the SWAC. So you couldn't sleep on nobody. You know, you had to come play. COLZIE, when he got in the league, you know what I mean? It was just tough teams, man. Coach Jones of Alabama A&M, one of the best defenses ever been in the SWAC. You know, it was just a tough. You couldn't come in and say what you said. Florida A&M gonna run through everybody. Never happened where one team that just ran through the conference every year. You know, just one team. Never.
Other than Jack State in the 80s. Southern had a good run in the 90s, but that Jack State run was legendary. But I do want to say this. I think we got to give, and I think he's going to have the pressure that Willie had. Coach Robinson at Alabama State, I think, is a good coach. I think he's put Eddie Robinson at Alabama State. I think he's a good coach. I think he's an ascending coach. And I think this is where you're going to find out, is he going to be able to move from a good coach to a great coach? Because all the pressure's on Alabama State now. They've got a quarterback. They got Jackson State coming to their building. They got FAMU coming. So everything is set up for them to win the SWAC based off of what they did last year. So now we're going to see, is he going to be able to make the adjustments, make the play? And I'm going to tell you what's funny about this. That first game against North Carolina Central is going to tell a lot about that team right off the rip.
I'll be remiss if I don't add Eddie Robinson to that. He built that. I'll be remiss about that. Well, here's the deal, you guys, about our conference now. What you have now is most defensive coaches are the head coaches. Curtis Thomas Alcorn, DB coach. Bubba McDowell, DB coach. You got new guy Chris Dishman, DB coach. You got more defensive guys being the head coach. So here's what happens when you have that. You have low scores on offense. You see more defensive things going on. If you look back, and I hate to say it, and it ain't as exciting as when you used to see the 30 and 40 points put up a game. You know what I mean? Guys breaking passing records and receiving records. You don't see that no more. And for people from outside, don't understand that coaching style changes. What makes Eddie Robinson a good coach at Alabama State now is that he wants to run the ball. He don't care about the ball the game being close. He's real conservative. All right. So that means the scores don't get away from him. Now, if you look at them, they finished 6-5 this year.
7-4.
7-4. That's what I want to say, 7-4. But all of them was close.
Yeah.
All those games was close. Same thing with Prairie View. Prairie View continue to beat Texas Southern because they run the ball. Continue to beat them because they run the ball. One year, Bubba only threw 2 passes. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the conference now, that's why you don't see that high scoring, ball throwing all over the field successfully. You see more ground and pound.
Well, let me ask you this, Coach. As football as a whole is trending toward offensive head coaches at the FCS level, at the NFL level, they're trending toward offensive coaches. What do you attribute SWAC being the outlier and hiring majority defensive coaches, as you pointed out? What do you attribute that to?
Here's what's happening in the football period. When the spread came out, some knew, tosses, reverses, all that quick stuff, bubble screens, short game, boom, 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 boom. Well, it caught defensive coaches off guard. What does that mean? That means we used to have these big old defensive linemen. They couldn't tread, couldn't run east and west. You know what I mean? All they could do was push pianos. We had these big old linebackers on the inside because you had to protect the ISO. Remember the ISO, Rocky?
Yeah,
Double
absolutely.
down, pick up that fullback. All right? So what happens was the defensive coaches got smart and switched personnel. Now they took those big old linebackers and made them defensive linemen. They can run and change directions. They took safeties and moved them down now to linebackers. So now you got more athletes on the defensive side of the ball. So now I got athletes like you got athletes, but now all you're going to do is stay in 2x2. And if you don't know what I mean, 2 receivers on one side, 2 on the other, or 3x1, and you're just going to give me those formations. So now you're easy to prepare for because you're not going to show me a lot of different looks. So now what I'm going to do to you defensively, I'm going to show you a lot of looks. You might think I'm in 2 high, I might be in 3. You might think I'm in 3, I might be in 2. You might think I'm in 2 zone, or man, I might be in 2 Kathy. So that's what has happened, that the defensive coaches have caught up with the offensive coaches, or the offensive scheme and personnel. So that's what I see. And that's why you don't see a lot of 4th downs and shorts. They don't make them because they got all these skilled kids on the field. And that's what's happening.
Coach,
can y'all shake that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hey, you know, I'm a football guy, and I love that kind of talk, Coach.
Yeah.
But why can't you run a more innovative offense at the SWAC level? You know, let's look at FCS as a whole, and Blue brought up something very interesting. The top teams in FCS aren't very diverse offensively. They run the ball and move it on the ground. That's North Dakota State, South Dakota State, schools like that. They move it on the ground. Even Montana State, even though they ran the spread, they had a lot of quarterback power, quarterback count, a lot of that kind of stuff. That seems to win at the FCS level. What makes that? Is there a different caliber of athlete? That's why that can win at the FCS level, and you don't have a lot of that winning. Well, I guess Harbaugh runs a more conventional offense, and he won the national championship this year. So I guess the more conventional offense can win. It just seems like everybody's running the spread now, Coach.
Without, and some guys are running the spread and don't know how to run the spread. You know, football is a copycat type deal. What is hot? What is hot? Fortunately for me as a coordinator, I've always just stayed with what I got because, you know, we talked before that I always have everything in my toolbox. I'm going to have a power game, short yardage game, spread game, 2-minute offense game, option game, screen game, and a draw game. And I think as an offensive coordinator, that's how you keep people off balance, where they can't just stack up against you. And a lot of these guys are going to these clinics or when the spread came out and getting 2 or 3 plays and then start trying to put it into their system. My offense is what I played in, you know what I mean? As well as I picked up on the way. So I know it inside out. So a lot of these guys are copycat and not necessarily understanding what all in terms with running the spread offense. To me, I don't think the spread offense is something that you commit to totally. It's almost like the wing T. The wing T, if you're gonna run the wing T, you're gonna have to be total wing T. And you got to be able to run all the series that go with the wing T. You can't piece it together. If you piece it together, you ain't gonna be successful. And that's what you see with this spread offense. First of all, when they start running spread, like I said earlier, they were just beating you with personnel. Now I got 5 skilled people on the field. You got 4. And you really couldn't count the safeties as skilled, depending on their size. So that's what happens, and that's what have changed, and why the spread is not putting up those numbers. But there's 3 things that win championships: great special teams, great defense, run game on offense. That's what win championships. And I ain't said Name one. Let's talk. Let's talk. Tell me a team that threw the ball 300-400 times a game. Don't just give me one team. Give me several. They have won either a NFL championship or a NCAA championship. Name one. You can't really name one. Alabama always ran the football. You know what I mean? Georgia ran the football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at the Super Bowl. Just watch the Super Bowl. The number one tailback in the league, San Francisco 49ers, McCaffrey. You can't get around that. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it seems like so many, I started watching, well, the spread wasn't prevalent when I was playing. Spread was more of an innovative offense when I was playing. There were a few teams running it. In my district in high school, we had a guy named that ended up being the Kentucky coach. We had 2 high school coaches in our league when I was in high school. One of those coaches was Art Briles, and we beat the dog breaks off of them. And then the other high school coach was, this name too, Hale Mummy. Those guys were high school coaches in my district in high school. And we used to beat the brakes off all of them, right?
Wow.
We ran a more conservative offense. Something happened in between 1988 when I graduated high school and maybe 2000 to where the spread was proliferated all over high school football. In that 12-year period, it seemed like every team was running the spread. The problem I had with the spread was this. It made your defenses less physical. And that's the problem I had with the spread, because you practice so much throwing the ball practice against throwing the ball on defense. When it was time to get in those 2 tight end sets with that fullback and all that kind of stuff, the defenses almost seemed like they were out of sync because they hadn't practiced very much against that. So that's the issue I had with the spread. The offensive production has been there, was there for years, but on the defensive side, they just seemed like the defenses couldn't stop anybody because they weren't no longer physical anymore. How did you combat that, Coach, of keeping your defense physically stout while also running a spread style offense?
No, I don't run a spread. That was going to say, not change who I am and what I do, and understand that this game, I've always led. I led the OVC in passing. I led the KCAC in passing. I was real up in the top 3 in the SWAC in passing. But I knew and understood that I need to get that run game together. And the spread offense does make your defense soft, because it ain't no lead, it ain't no power play, it ain't no slant and kick it in and out. It ain't none of that. It ain't no helmet on the helmet and pads on pads. So without a doubt, that's what's been happening. The spread has slowed up. I don't change who I am and what I do with the ball. You know what I'm saying? My job is to make sure that we score any way possible. And a lot of times, your personnel, and this is what I want to say, a lot of times guys are just running the spread because of spread. They ain't got a quarterback that can pass. They ain't got wide receivers that can catch. And you just ball hiked over your head. It's especially in high school. It's just pitiful.
That's what I see, Coach.
It's just well, that's what's going in. Let's do it. No. I mean, I interviewed for the head job at Bethune-Cookman. And one of the questions on the interview was, what's your RPO game? I said, man, I did RPO back in the 90s. What are you saying? You know what I mean? No, man, my job as an offense coordinator is to score any way possible, whether it's power, running game, throwing the game, learn how to keep people. And that's the other thing. In the spread, you can't control the clock. It's hard for you to control the clock. You got one back. The defense we got to stop you. So we're going to put an extra man in, and they just keep running the spread. Keep running, keep giving that ball on the inside. So some people don't know how to run, Rocky. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems.
Well, the original spread that I remember was the run and shoot. And that wasn't just a formation, that was a complete system, right? And that system was very successful early on in the mid 80s, late 80s. And it clowned a lot of great defenses, you know. But
the Houston Gamblers made it a fit. The Houston Gamblers down in Houston with the run and shoot. Yeah, run and shoot was the spread offense. The first, they didn't call it spread. They called it the run and shoot. It's the half roll and throw it either front side or get something coming backside.
Hey, Coach, I want to show our age. I know you're going to remember this. Now, Mouse Davis, who was that coach, you're going to remember this. He actually was at Portland State with a quarterback named Neil Lomax that led 1AA and passed him, Rocky.
Yes.
Got drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals at that time. So right before Totten, he had this offense that he actually stole some of the concepts from Archie Cooley, from the story I was told. Okay, Coach, get it.
I think Mouse Davis admits that he got some of those concepts from Archie Cooley.
So this goes back, and we're talking about the innovation on the 1AA level. He was doing this at Portland State. Got Neil Lomax. Hal Mummy was at Valdosta State doing the same thing under that tutelage. So what's funny is what we've seen, especially at this level, and this kind of goes back to coach and about being a coach and coming up the ranks, learning under another coach, learning offensive systems and sets and things like that. Being able to say, hey, you know what? Because that's what bothers me. I don't have a great quarterback, but I got a stable of running backs. Let's get into a two-back set. Let's maybe run the ball. But everybody does it, and these kids can't take a snap underneath the center, right?
The worst thing a coach can do is go to a clinic and come back and change his whole offense. Worst thing you do. That means changing terminology and everything. Forget what players I got. This offense, I had a kid that played under me named Leon Murray. I don't know if you remember. He was in the Heisman race. 3,000-yard passer. We transferred to us from Pittsburgh at Tennessee State. He became an offensive coordinator at Morehouse. They scoring 30 a game. Here come the spread in the early 2000s. His coach told him, go to a clinic. Man, we need to run the spread. He turned his whole offense to the spread. 2 years later, he fired Leon Murray. He should have fired himself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Man, when you get that head job, you got to know what you're doing. I know I ain't changed. I don't want to change the subject, but you got to know what you're doing, man. And you got to have confidence in what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I used to go and watch a lot of youth football not so long ago, Coach. And the reason why I couldn't stop watching youth football, because they had kids hiking the ball over the quarterback's head, trying to run the spread offense at 8U and 10U when they barely knew how to catch and throw and whatever. And it's frustrating nowadays to go to those games and see those guys try to execute those spread concepts with kids who are just now learning football. I just don't see any value in it, but that's just my bias.
Well, let me give our audience some things to do when they go, or if they got a child or something that's playing football. When you walk up on the football field and you see kids not on time, jerseys half falling out, take your kids somewhere else. If you see watching practice where they get in a drill and stay in the drill for an hour, a hidden drill, get your kid and go somewhere else. When you go to a school, a college, and are we still there? We good?
Yeah. You know how you freeze sometimes, Coach. You'll get back. Just keep talking.
Yeah, So when you go somewhere and watch a team and you look at their socks and their uniform and kids' jerseys all out and coaches' shirts all out, and everybody is coaching. See, now I ref. So when I go to games, I'm watching. You got 12 coaches. You got guys that just showed up at the game, start coaching. They ain't been to practice all week. They start coaching. I took a little league team, Bishop Campbell, with my son. My son said, "Daddy, you need to get your own team." So I took what was left. And our first practice, I said, "Don't bring no balls. I got balls. Don't bring no uniforms. I got practice uniforms for them." I said, "Look, when we come in here, we're going to come in here for 2 hours, and we're going to come here to work. This is what we're going to do first, second, third. I don't allow people to dribble balls while I'm talking." So right now, I'm working on what? Everybody focus. This is what we come in. I would have what we working on. Defense for the first half an hour. Offense first, shooting, dribbling. We would come in and get our fundamentals out the way the first half of practice. So when you go into practice and watching football, you got mothers out there who never put in football. Get there and run here. Take your kid and run. Because he's not being raised properly. He's not being taught what he needs to be taught. And whoever that head coach, ain't no head coach. Head coaches are organized. They know what they want to work on. They know where they're weak at. You know what I mean? And you can't have everybody over there. Tell your assistant coaches, if you're going to be an assistant coach here, this is how you got to dress, and this is how you got to look. If you can't come like that, then you need to stand over the sideline with everybody else. Because you need to have total control of your football team. I see it every week. Last week I ref 14 7-on-7 football. And I could tell if a team was disciplined, I could tell which one was going to win. It ain't nowhere around that, guys. It ain't nowhere around that. You're not going to be successful if you're not organized and everybody is on the same page. All right, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
Hey, Rocky, let me tell you, let me just, I want to expound on that, because I think what you see now, we're in this phase where everybody, because they sit on the couch, they think they know football, right?
Right.
When I was playing youth, I'll tell you a true story. Everybody knows Jimmy Smith, Jackson State legend, should be in the Hall of Fame. Jimmy and I played on the same youth team. Jimmy's father was our coach. He was our coach. So everybody in the city of Jackson that had teams, there were people, these guys had played the game and had coached the game. So when they came down to the youth level, they taught us. There weren't guys like when you ask these coaches now, you say, "Hey, you ever played?" No, I ain't played, but I watched it a lot. I know
they played Madden, coach. They
played Madden. So that's the transition that I see when I sit back and I watch these youth leagues and I go with my friends and I'm like, who is this person coaching? Because it's very obvious that they don't even understand simple terminology of football. It's obvious. It's obvious. Football has certain gaps, things like that. You got to know the technique. There are certain things. And I would think about when Coach Smith and this was stuff coming straight from W.C. Gordon, that he would have, no, you're not doing this right. You're not doing it. The fundamentals of things that he brought from Jackson State, and it was so funny. When I saw Jimmy, and me and Jimmy grew up together, Jimmy was a year older than me, and then when I saw him, you could see those fundamentals at a young age, and that's why he's an NFL great. Because he was learning the fundamentals in 5th, 6th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. The fundamentals.
You find a lot of coaches in college try to get their kids, like wide receivers, to run routes like they run in pros, double moves and all that kind of stuff. And I've never been taught that. I was taught by Lionel Taylor. It's get from point A to point B fast as you can. So it's just a lot of organizational things that I see that's not in place. I mean, I see, it's nothing wrong with being close with your players. But what goes wrong on is when your players don't respect you. Like I always tell my players, look, I'm not here for you to like me. You're not here to like me. You're here to graduate. I'm here to win championships. But one thing that you're going to do is you're going to respect me. and I'm gonna make sure that you get across that stage. So those are the type of things that I look at when I go out and watch teams, and I just about can say what team gonna be more successful than the other team.
Hey, Coach, I want, before we get off of here, we're gonna try to stick to our hour limit today, but I wanted to go over this schedule for
Gotta do that.
Right. And I was gonna do it by team, but I say hell, we'll do it week by week. And then we'll look at each week and see what we think about the schedule. Can you see this?
And let's make out their record right now, and then we'll compare it in the fall.
Who we think will win the game?
Yeah, when we go through their record.
Oh, okay.
Well, Rock, if you're gonna do that, you probably want to go team by team then. If you're gonna do that, to be honest with you.
Well, I can go back. What I'm saying, I'll do weeks, and then I'll go back and look at the video and see who y'all pick, and I'll compile the record. Right. So, let's look at this here, Coach. Texas Southern and Prairie View. That starts out week 1, the Labor Day Classic.
Why you gonna ask me? I asked Coach Campbell.
I got PV, no doubt.
Well, here's the thing I think we should start looking at. We have a group of new coaches, right? And then we have coaches that are there. Now, the question is, are their teams ascending or descending? So here's the interesting thing. We've got a rookie coach, Coach Disman, team kind of descended just overall. Then we've got Prairie View that has won the West. But McDowell has been there. He understands his team. He knows how to recruit for his team. So, I mean, this is very obvious right here that Prairie View is going to win this game big. They're going to start off strong and things like that. So, again, I'm looking at the storylines of these coaches and what type of team that they're taking over. Is it an ascending coach? Is it an ascending team or is it a descending team? And then what it takes, case in point. So that's what I'm looking at right there.
In that case, you're looking at the West champion versus the bottom team of the conference.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I pointed that out, Coach.
So we got I think we can say PV and on that one. If Coach, I think so. We're gonna give PV the win on that one. That's 2-1. Coach picked his guy.
No, I gotta pick PV. I can't be messing my record up.
Okay, so TSU is 0-1. All right. So then we go to Southern and Prairie View. And this should be week 4. This is, you got to understand, we're making these picks with no injuries, just what we know based on largely last year's situation and circumstance going into this year, what we know. And we know Southern has a new coach. And again, they're playing Prairie View. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Prairie View on this one. And that makes Southern.
Damn, Prairie View season over. Shit, they out the block, ain't they? Damn. Jesus.
Okay.
Man, they jumping on them quick. Hell, I'm going to give Prairie View 2-0.
That's what I think too. So then we got, and remember, this is just the SWAC schedule. This isn't the overall schedule. So then we go to September 28th, and we got Alabama A&M and Florida A&M. I got Florida A&M with the victory.
Go, Rattlers, go, and they gonna strike again.
Do you have any objection to that, Mr. Campbell?
Well, let's again. I want to kind of get some depth. So when that game is played, this will be the Rattlers' 5th game already, because they play week 0, they play Labor Day weekend, they play Miami, and they play Troy. So for them, you're going to kind of know what this team is about, and then coming home. So this will be their 2nd home game. So again, I think this is going to be comfortable. I think the Florida A&M will roll on this.
Well, let me say this to you guys. A team make its biggest jump from game 1 to game 2. So if they terrible in game 1 and terrible in game 2, shit, coach, you might as well, hey, you know, lower the flag down because that's who they're gonna be. You know. So yeah, I got Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State. I'm gonna go with Alabama State. They ain't heard no news on Bethune. They've been quiet down there.
Well, let me tell you something, Coach. So Coach Woody's done a great job in the portal. Got a lot of players that he's brought in. This is going to be now. This is what I was talking about: ascending and descending. I think Bethune-Cookman is one of those ascending teams. I think Coach Woody is doing what Bethune-Cookman has done really well. Let's find guys that fit our program. Let's find guys that want to come back to the state of Florida. And he's worked that portal well. I'm telling you, this game right here is going to be one of those games I'm going to be watching to see where Bethune-Cookman have they moved to the next level where they say, you know what, we can win this game to get us to a winning record. I'm super excited about that game. So that's one of those games that.
Go ahead.
So that's one of the things, and I just wanted to put that out there because, like I said, they have done a great job recruiting. Like I said, I'm very curious to see what Bethune could. And because, like I said, remember the defense was stout last year for Bethune. And the question is,
Dr. Bishop,
yeah, yes, sir.
Look, we gonna from now to then we're gonna do this again.
Absolutely.
And compare. But right now we just going off of really what's going on
right now.
The season is not over yet either.
Yeah.
So Alcorn. So okay. So we're gonna give Florida A&M the victory. We're gonna give Alabama State the victory. What about Alcorn State and Mississippi Valley? I think that's a no-brainer. I think we give Mississippi Valley the L on that one. And Alabama, you know.
Who you pick Alabama State Bethune-Cookman, Bishop?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't really say because I'm Bethune. I'm telling you something.
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm telling you guys. Listen. I've got people down there Bethune, and they are super excited with that talent they got. I'm going to let me say this. I'm going to take Alabama State because I think, and I'm going to go to the reason why I'm saying it because this goes back to Eddie Robinson's mission. They're on a Celebration Bowl or bust mission this season, so they got to win that game. So I'll say that. So I'll take Alabama State. But I'm telling you something, Bethune-Cookman is going to be laying in the weeds on that game. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, what about Texas Southern and Jackson State?
Listen. Let me jump up to that Prairie View and Grambling game. That game is one of those first statement games for Grambling and Coach Mickey Joseph. That is a really big game for them to see where Grambling is going to be at. That's going to be a good measuring stick for Coach Joseph. I'm going to be very interested to watch that game. I think Prairie View will win that game, but I want to see if Grambling will play hard, have those guys prepared to come into Dallas and win that game. And Jackson State, Texas Southern, I mean, like I said, they say JSU by 40.
Rocky.
Uh-huh.
We going to that game. We're going to take our show to that game.
So Texas Southern picks up the second L of the year in that game, right? That's what we do know, right? After what, and this is what it kind of looks like this would be probably week 6. Week 6. Oh, no. This is after week. This is week 5.
This is
week 5. No. It'll be week 5 in the season, but after week 5, we'd have Prairie View. Woo! I'm going to take Prairie View on that one, guys.
Prairie View and Grambling?
Hey, I'm going to take Prairie View.
Okay.
Who you guys got?
Wait, today I got Prairie View.
Okay.
Because I don't know what Grambling go do. Jackson State and Texas Southern, I got Jackson State all over that.
Okay.
What about you, Coach Campbell?
Listen, I think Prairie View, but that's why I said I'm curious to see by this time of the season, has Mickey Joseph established that relationship with that football team? And like I said, going back to Grambling tradition, just being a tough physical football team. I'm curious to see how he plays that. But yeah, Prairie View definitely should win that game.
You know what I'm looking at the schedule, right? Prairie View by midseason, Prairie View has 3 victories, no losses, and they position themselves at the top of the West. You know, and we're only at week 5.
Yeah,
Like,
those are division games.
Hey,
All three of those games.
His first 3 games are against new coaches, new programs.
that you got now. Texas Southern has 2 losses going in, and pretty much their season is over by week 5.
Well, and plus they play 2 money games.
Yeah.
So that's 0-4, right?
Yeah. So let's look at October the 5th. I'm gonna take these 3. I'm gonna take this one, Alabama A&M and Jackson State. I gotta go with JSU. Do y'all guys have any objection to that?
Easy money.
All right.
Who's that now?
Alabama State and JSU. Alabama A&M and JSU.
Who y'all got?
I got JSU.
I'm gonna take A&M.
Okay.
Maynard. Here's what has happened in Maynard. The AD was ready to bam, bam, bam. Maynard got a relationship with some folks. This is the word I got from my sources. So him and that AD ain't getting along. He got to win.
Well, Coach, I hate to tell you that if you banking on that, then he's gonna get fired that game then, because Jackson State's not losing that game. I'm telling you that right now. Jackson State's not losing that game. I can tell you that right now.
All right, what we got? Florida A&M, Alabama State. This is the East Championship. What you say, Bishop Campbell?
Listen, this is one of those games when you get the schedule and you circle it. This is Alabama State's homecoming. Andrew Body, Florida A&M. This is one of those games that for Coach COLZIE, if I'm him, I'm saying, you know what? I can say we're going to be the underdogs. He can use the underdog card on this game, because that's going to be very few times this season that FAMU is going to be able to say that.
I think I'm going to be at that game.
I'm definitely going to be there. I already have my room reserved. I will be in the house. So that the Rattlers will come strong. We definitely look like we're going to bring the band up there to ruin their homecoming. So like I said, I just think that, again, I think that FAMU, if we keep recruiting what we got, again, I think we're going to have to play solid quarterback, and our defense is going to be lights out. So I don't think Alabama State is going to score a bunch of points on us. I just don't believe so.
So what we need to do, guys, always think about this too. If we take our show on the road, we know folks. So we can get a couple of interviews. Bishop Campbell.
Hey, listen, I've got a great connection to Alabama State. Like I said, Greg Clark is down there. I'm pretty sure he'll welcome us with open arms. So, yeah, I think this is one of those things. And the bottom line is, again, this is going to be that game. This Florida A&M Alabama State game is going to be similar to those Jack State FAMU games. If you win this game, then you're going to be in the driver's seat to get to a Celebration Bowl. So this is very big, very big.
Let me introduce this to the party. I think Florida A&M is going to come in disrespected because they have been put on the schedule as a homecoming team. Last time I seen a team of this caliber scheduled for homecoming, I think the number was 63-3. Right? I'm not saying they're going to get that kind of work done. But what I will say is you couple the distractions of homecoming for the home team and also a uber-focused Florida A&M team, I don't see how Bama State has any chance in this game. What do you guys think about that angle, about how homecoming can be distracting for the home team?
Well, I'm not going to say about the distraction, but I'm going to agree with you. Like I told you, this will be one of the few games that Florida A&M is going to be the underdog. And I think this is one of those games that Coach COLZIE can say, hey, listen, guys, they made us homecoming opponents. People don't believe that. This is the people that they believe. I guarantee you, Alabama State is probably going to be the preseason pick to win the SWAC. If I had to bet it right now.
Negative.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, I bet you money. We'll like I said, we'll clip this and you will see. But I'm just telling you, I think they're going to be the preseason pick. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they're going to be the preseason pick. I think they're going to be very popular, and I think that's not going to work well. I think that FAMU defense is going to be lights out again. I think they're going to be lights out again.
Okay. All right. So we got We got
Bishop,
Bama.
we're coaching. You coaching, man. We so far from the season. You coaching.
So,
I'm sorry, Coach. I'm plugged into a lot of these guys, and the thing about it, and plus I know people are listening to us, and I just want to give a little bit of context, like you do so well. So that's all.
Yeah, Rocky, he trying to get fans on us. Man,
No,
the Florida A&M Raptors, man, they gonna strike. They gonna strike, and they gonna strike again.
This will be Pine Bluff's first SWAC game all year.
Really?
Yeah, on October 5th. This will be their first game against Alcorn. Who do you have?
I gotta go with the Braves, man. It's gonna be down on the reservation.
Yeah, that's what I got too. I got the Braves. All right, let's go.
That's easy.
Let's go with the next weekend. Let's kind of get through this. But now this is Bethune-Cookman of Alabama A&M. I'll let you guys have this one. I'm telling you something, Coach. Coach, I'm riding this Bethune-Cookman bandwagon. I think this is the revival of that program. I think I'm saying again, Alabama A&M is on a downward trend. I think this will be Coach Maynard's last year there, and I don't think anything. I have not seen anything out of that program that I've heard that this team is going to be ready to win, have a winning season. So I'm taking Bethune-Cookman.
I've seen Bethune play. They played Alabama State tough. They had an opportunity to win. I'm gonna go with Bethune-Cookman.
All right, and y'all gonna give A&M the L. I want y'all to know y'all got A&M 0-3 in their first 3 SWAC games,
and they should be 0-3 because they're not beating any of those teams.
Got you.
All right, Alabama State and Valley. I think we know where that's going. We got Alcorn and Grambling at Grambling.
It's a good game. It's gonna be a good game. 2 new coaches, one coming in and really rebuilding, and the other one has things in place. All he doing is reloading. Woo! I'm gonna go with Alcorn State because he's a defensive guy.
Okay. I just want to show y'all some developments that y'all got going. Y'all got Grambling going 0-2 to start this SWAC schedule. Y'all got Alcorn 3-0.
I like Alcorn in this game. I like Alcorn. I like what Coach said. I like the continuity that they have. I like the fact that, once again, kids stayed. They went in and got 22 guys as soon as they announced Coach said. I think, again, Grambling, I think, again, they're going to have to find their way early in the season. So I think, and Alcorn, and Coach, you know this, Alcorn has been successful down in Grambling over the last 5 or 6 seasons.
Yes.
Down there. So they're not scared to go down there in that hole. So, again, Alcorn has.
Okay,
we'll get next.
PV and UAPB.
I'm not sold on UAPB yet. I got to get to know this guy.
I got PV. I got PV. What do you got, Campbell?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only time Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to win a game is when they play Valley. I'm just gonna keep it simple.
Okay. Now this game right here has gotten coaches fired the last 3 years, last 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
Texas Southern and Southern.
Texas Southern has owned Southern. Own them. What you got, Campbell?
I'm gonna tell you this: if Southern loses this game, they will be talking about the ban immediately. And I'm telling you something: them Southern fans, I know a lot of people down there Southern. They're not even happy right now. So I'm telling you, this is one of those games because a lot of them did not want. I think Coach Graves, I think for what they had to do, I think he might have been the best person for a job. But I'm telling you, they lose this game. No. Well, let me tell you what. No. Let me tell you what I mean by that. No. Hold on, wait, Coach. Hold on. Let me expound on it. But let me tell you the reason why I said that, because I don't think they were going to be able to afford anybody else again. Because the AD said they couldn't afford anybody, so they took what they could get.
They ain't got nothing to do with him being the right person for the job. It's money machine, Rob, for me, please.
They ain't had no money, Coach. They didn't have no money, Coach. They said they had no money, Coach.
Well, then I need to pick the offensive defensive coordinator. I don't need to pick no assistant coach.
Okay. Yeah,
Hey.
that check bounced down there, Southern, coach.
So I just want y'all to know, midway through the season, y'all got the first year coaches, other than FAMU and Thomas. Y'all got the first year coaches catching hell. You hear me?
Easy. Well, they had the worst teams, Rocky. So that makes sense. They had the least to work with and the furthest to go.
And you're right that Coach McNair and Coach Simmons weren't fired. They weren't fired. You know.
Yeah, they had winning teams, Coach. They had winning teams.
They had winning teams. You're right. So Southern is starts the conference 0-2. Now we here with Alcorn and Southern on October 19th. Who you got on that one? Alcorn and Southern.
2 defensive coaches. I'm gonna take Alcorn. Southern has Southern even got an offensive coordinator yet? Alcorn. I'm gonna take Alcorn.
There you go. Say it right, Coach.
Southern even got an offensive coordinator yet?
Yeah. I don't think so. And Coach, I'm gonna tell you this. I think Alcorn, with the continuity they got, I think they're gonna go down there and they're gonna put a number on Southern. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm telling you something. I think Southern's in trouble. I think Southern is in trouble. I don't see the upside in this season for Southern. So I think Alcorn is going to be laying and trying to win. And like I said, I think because they haven't played Prairie View yet, as we pulled up. But yeah, I think Alcorn is going to be right where they need to be at.
So who gets their first SWAC win of the year between Arkansas Pine Bluff and Grambling State?
Down there in the hole, I got to take the G-Men.
Man, G-Man on that.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this again. They better not lose that game to Arkansas Pine Bluff or Mickey John. He might have a shorter ride than Hugh. So I'll tell you that right there. Now they're not going to tolerate that.
So Bethune-Cookman and Mississippi Valley.
Like I said, I like Bethune-Cookman.
They go in the Valley now.
I understand that.
I'm gonna do an upset on that one, Valley. He did some good recruiting this year. They did some good things on offense. Young guy, young head coach.
And for the panel's deciding vote, I'm gonna go with Bethune-Cookman. So then we got the 26th of October.
No, wait a minute. No, don't skip. Wait a minute. You skipped a game down there on October 19th.
That's a hard one right there, brother. That's
don't. Hey, man, listen. October 19th in the vet, Florida A&M comes. The vet gonna be rocking. 40,000 minimum gonna be in that stadium. They said this is one of the premium games on their season ticket package, according to my folks over there at 1400 Club. So I'm telling you right now, this game right here is gonna be one of the best football games this whole season. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Jack State is gonna give FAMU utter hell, but I think we'll pull it out very close at the end.
Wow.
Hey, Bishop Campbell, I'm gonna take Jackson State on this one.
Okay.
At Jackson, I'm gonna take Jackson State. And
rock
so
and
that
rock. You closing down, rock and rock.
Hey, so that means that Coach Cole is gonna be the deciding vote.
Florida A&M and Jackson State.
At Jackson State, yes.
Woo! TC Taylor got set back, didn't he? They put it on his booty. Woo, man. I'm gonna say TC Taylor, Coach.
Oh, we got FAMU
Jackson State, baby.
We got FAMU picking up his first loss, and Jackson State remains undefeated in the sport.
Yeah.
All right. So now we got Southern and Alabama A&M.
Wow. You know what? I would tell you something. I'm gonna go with Alabama A&M.
Ooh.
I'm not sold on Southern, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not sold on Southern.
I just don't see.
Southern was terrible in the tournament.
Rocket, they say you skipping a whole week. Are you skipping weeks now?
No.
Okay. Okay. No, I think they were talking about because I want to make sure you didn't skip a week, did you?
Yes, I did. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah,
keep. Let's go back. Back.
One time for the Amen Corner to keep us in line. And let me tell you, show the Rocket real quick. The Amen Corner hit me up. They said, hey, Mr. Campbell, if y'all going to do this show. So real quick, Coach Discipline went to Purdue. And also, Coach, the FAMU people let me know that Coach Henry put in a lot of the offense and did call plays. So they just want us to make sure that we're on point on this show. So shout out to the Amen Corner keeping us straight. All right, go ahead, Rocky.
All right. So Alabama State, Alabama A&M. I got
the classic.
I got Bama State.
I got Bama State.
Oh, so they
got a new offensive coordinator. Hopefully they're more exciting. Defense is coming back pretty good. Alabama State.
Valley.
This could change according to what really happened. The kids' schoolwork, fucking out, NIL, not coming back. Coach found drunk on the side. He gone. We ain't got to be this slow. Let's go. Pick it up.
Valley and Pine Bluff.
Woo. That's usually the toilet bowl.
I got Valley. I'm going to take Valley.
That's the toilet bowl game.
Yeah.
Valley beat the brakes off of them last year. Beat the brakes off of Pine Bluff. Bang.
I got to go with Valley.
All right. So next, Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman.
Bethune-Cookman's homecoming.
Jackson State.
I think, but Jackson State does. But it is Bethune-Cookman's homecoming. I think they're going to play a really tough game, but I think Jackson State will pull that out.
All right. So now we got Southern traveling to
this is easy. We haven't lost to Southern in God knows how long, and it's at Bragg. We can keep this.
We're going to strike again.
FAMU by 40. FAMU by 40.
Now this is interesting for this reason. We have Southern at this point 0-4 in the SWAC. Wow.
This is not going to be a good season for Southern. I'm telling you, them Southern fans are going to really see how far this program has fallen.
Hey, if they 0-4 and coming into November, it's going to be some very mad people, buddy.
Okay.
They're going to be more than 0-4 because they play some teams from the outside.
Okay. Can they blame that on Dooley?
Yep, they're going to say Dooley left them with no talent.
Yeah.
They're going to say Dooley left the cupboard bare.
So last one in this week is Grambling State travels down to H-Town. I got Grambling State on that one, Coach.
I don't know. Texas Southern plays Grambling tough at home. I'm going to take those. T-S-U. Who you rooting for? T.
Well, Mr. Campbell, you get to decide it.
Hey, man, listen. Grambling was the first school that allowed me to start my business. I'm always going to go with those G-men. I think, like I say again, I think the deprived with the G, I think Mick Joseph's the right guy for that job. I think Grambling's going to win that game.
Wow.
All
right. Now we in November the 2nd. Southern Alabama A&M. Now y'all can say it. What does Dion always say? What does he say? Who cares about that? I can't think of what he says, but it don't matter.
No,
I'm going to say this is going to be the game Southern wins.
All right.
I think this is a game Southern wins.
I'll go with you there. I go with you. Southern wins.
I go with Southern. Alabama State, Alcorn State.
Woo.
Good game. Gonna be a low scoring. Gonna be a low score game. Both defensive coaches.
So the interesting thing about this game right here.
They said this went real quick. They said this game is in Mobile, so that does. Thank you, Threes, because I was about to say if this is on the reservation. And correct me if I'm wrong, because Alcorn went to Alabama State and beat them last year. So but he said this game is in Mobile. I hate that. I hate that. But go ahead. I just want to point that out.
Well, what I'm saying about this, Mr. Campbell, this could after losing on October the 5th, this could throw y'all back in the mix if Alcorn is able to defeat Alabama State. This could put y'all back in play. Put the pressure right back on Bama State.
Okay.
See, this is what's so hard about when you have to do, and Coach Cole knows about this. When you have to, what I call a death march, when you know you got to win every game, basically, very slim margin. What you got to have is a couple of things what FAMU had. You got to have a great leader at quarterback, and you got to have a stout defense. So the question is Andrew going to be able to come in there, be a leader for that team? And is the defense going to be able to, they've lost some people off that defense? We'll see. So I hate that this game is in Mobile, because if this game was at the reservation, I would love Alcorn, but I think I'm going to have to go for Alabama State.
All right, Alabama State, and Alcorn gets their first SWAC loss of the season, which takes some pressure off of Prairie View. Let me see. The next game is Pine Bluff at Jackson State. I don't think we have to spend any time on that.
No, sir.
Grambling State and Bethune-Cookman.
Man, I tell you what, we just got to see what Bethune-Cookman is doing. According to Mr. Campbell, they did a great job recruiting. They playing a new coaching staff. We got to see. I'm going to take Grambling.
I'm going to take Bethune.
I'm going to take Bethune.
And let me tell you, guys, a fun fact. When Grambling made their run to back-to-back Celebration Bowl appearances, Bethune-Cookman was the only HBCU team that beat them in that run. So they listen. They've had some success against Grambling. I think a lot of people don't know that. I was at that game, and they beat Grambling at home. So like I say, just want to put that out there.
Hey, the battle of the first-year SWAC coaches, TSU and Florida
Yes. You, who you rooting for?
I'm not spending not no time on that.
You upset Texas Southern, Florida A&M.
At this point, Coach, we have TSU winless, Coach.
TSU
winless. Prairie View, Mississippi. We have
upset Florida A&M.
No, and that is our homecoming. So good luck on that.
What about Prairie View traveling to Mississippi Valley?
Bubba gets it done. Easy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm just thinking this. Do you think one of the best things that ever happened to Prairie View was Dooley taking the Southern job?
Absolutely. 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 Because I think Bubba McDowell, again, I would love for him to get that offense going, but I think he's a very underrated coach, and I think those guys believe in him. I think Bubba McDowell is a very underrated coach.
You like Bubba McDowell?
What I like about is that team, again, wins the games that they need to win. And they have done that consistently under Bubba McDowell.
Yeah.
But they're not like an uber talented team when you look at this team. It's like, cause they lose games that be like, oh, why did they lose that game? Or they play. But when they need to win those games, they win them.
I just think the league is weak. But go ahead.
Well, with that too. I'm not gonna argue that point either.
But you didn't have them in a situation when they had to
have. And Kevin, you can appreciate this. I'm sorry, Rock. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what I'm saying is when they had to have a game for the SWAC championship, he did something that even Dooley couldn't do.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
Is it something he doing, or they just stumbling into the championship game?
No.
Campbell?
Well,
everybody
listen.
knew. Hey, Campbell, it'd be like, if you lose and you lose, then you're in a championship game. If you lose, you lose.
He just had to
like
win.
Nobody wants it.
But coach, but you know what happens though? He wins the one game. He's got to be in that position. The other coaches never win that game. So you got to give him credit for always making sure his team is in that position.
Hey, Coach. I remember. Think about this. Think about this. I remember one year. I think it was Dooley's first year. No, it was Dooley's last year at PV. PV had to win, Alcorn had to win, and somebody else had an opportunity to go to the SWAC championship. They all lost, and then that reverted back to PV going to the SWAC championship.
So is
Yeah,
it that?
Texas
Is it
Southern. I think that was
PV?
the year Texas Southern should have won. I believe, wasn't that year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it PV or is it just weak? The West Side is weak.
Well, let me tell you something. Blue saying, how does that happen to a SWAC championship team? Well, Prairie View is not a SWAC championship team. They're a division winner. There's a difference. So they are not a SWAC championship team. Nobody said they were a SWAC championship team. What we said was they won the division.
That answers my question.
So
okay, yeah.
I ain't got to worry about at the end of the year who got to lose. I'm controlling my own destination.
And that's what PV has done. That's what Bubba McDowell has done.
No, babe, no, coach.
He had to
I
beat
get what you
Mississippi
said.
Valley, and he beat Mississippi Valley.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Let me say something. If I win, but I gotta wait for Mr. Campbell to lose and Mr. Rocky to lose to go in to the game. Come on, Rocky. Rock, you're a championship player, baby. You don't win on nobody. You did. Look, this is what I need to do. I need to
That's
go
why.
around.
Think about this. That's why Alcorn State beating Jackson State didn't mean Jack Diddley, because PV handled their business.
All right, coach. Okay.
All right. Let's go with let's
I know
Coach don't believe in no back doors. He's a front door type of guy. He's a front door type of guy.
Rocky and Mr. Campbell, I had to be Gremlin and I had to be Pablo. All this if was a fifth, we all would be drunk. Not me.
Hey, let's go with this one. Alabama A&M and Pine Bluff.
Where is that game at, Rocky?
Ain't nobody care. It's at Pine Bluff.
No, ain't nobody care about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Maynard another win.
Yeah, that would be his first win, coach. All right, Alabama State and Grambling. I'm gonna go with Alabama State. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna take Alabama State.
Alabama State.
Texas Southern and Alcorn.
Well, Alcorn ain't beat them in 3 years. So, what you say?
I got Alcorn.
I'm taking Alcorn. I don't think they have the team. I think they're going to win that down in the reservation. Absolutely.
All
right. Chris Dishman is winless so far. Bethune-Cookman at Southern. I'm gonna take Southern on that one.
I'm gonna take Bethune-Cookman. I'm gonna take it. I'm going off of Mr.
Well,
Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, you had.
Listen. I'm telling you. I think this is the win that helps Bethune get 6 wins. I'm going to take Bethune-Cookman.
Hey, Rocky. I don't know why I'm going with this armchair quarterback, but okay.
You know, Coach. Hey, Southern. If this happens like y'all say it's gonna happen, Southern's looking for another coach next year.
Hey, listen, I firmly believe that. I'm trying to take. Listen, people, coach got more connection, but I'm telling you, I know a lot of people down there in Southern, and I'm telling you, I have talked to people down there in Southern. They are not happy. The recruiting is not moving. They don't think they're going to have an innovative offense. I'm just saying. Again,
I'm gonna call my folks. I know some folks.
Yeah, you better call them, coach. You better call them.
Okay, we got Florida A&M and at Prairie View.
Woo!
I
got FAMU in this one.
We're gonna score too many points.
Florida A&M come to Texas twice.
No, we're only once. Texas Southern comes to us for homecoming.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They play y'all on homecoming.
Yep.
Well, Dad, can I get the treatment that Rocky got?
What's that, coach?
Oh, yeah.
He smiled. Look at his teeth. He came back. All I seen was teeth. I want that type of.
Coach, listen. You come down to FAMU with me. We're gonna take good care. You ain't got to worry about that.
I got you.
Okay. That's easy money right there. But no, I gotta take FAMU. I think FAMU is gonna be rolling. I think again we're just gonna have more talent than Prairie View. I don't think anything's changing on that.
PV, that'll be PV's first L. Okay, that'll be PV's first L. That'll tie them with Alcorn. FAMU is still with one SWAC loss. Let me go here. The next one is Mississippi Valley and Jackson State. I don't think we got to spend any time on that. Now here's the deal. Jackson State is still undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they should. They should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nobody that Jack State should, like I say, you're going to get down to the game that Jack State is got circled, other than the FAMU game. You get into it.
All right, here we go. We at the week before Thanksgiving. This is where the season is decided, right?
Yeah.
Not right here though. Alabama A&M versus Mississippi Valley.
Alabama A&M versus Mississippi Valley. Where is that at? Oh, you way down. You sleep.
No,
How did you call the Jack State Alabama State game November 16th?
No. Let's go Grambling, Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Grambling, Alabama A&M.
You must be getting sleepy.
No, I'm just not paying attention. My bad. I'm trying to document our picks and also compile a schedule. Hey, who you got? I got on that one. I got Grambling.
I got A&M.
You know, this is where, as you say, this is one of those too early. I want to say Grambling, but I just think that Grambling's not played well on the road lately. And I just think that Alabama A&M I don't think it'll be a good looking game. I think it'll be an ugly game, but I think Alabama A&M, just because it's at home, they might have a chance to win that.
Okay. Woo, Jackson State, Alabama State. They travel.
That might be the championship of the East. State. That might be who's going to the Celebration Bowl. I'm gonna take Alabama State.
I'm gonna take Bama State. I'm gonna take Bama State, and it opens it up for everybody in the West. I'm gonna take Bama State.
I would take I'm gonna take Alabama State very close, because I think they're at home, and I think they understand what's got to happen. I think Jack State's gonna come down there ready to play them. And I think Jack State has done well down at Alabama State. I think they got a really good winning record playing down there. So they're not going to be intimidated.
This is the West Side Championship. Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M. The West. Who's going to win the West? Right, Coach?
I agree. I think, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going with Prairie View. I've got to go with Prairie View.
Rocky, I'm going with Alcorn State.
And Coach, I'm going to overrule you, and I'm going with PV, Coach. Okay, I'm going with PV, so PV gets the victory.
So
now you got to understand what I'm looking at in this game, right? I'm looking at Alcorn traveling to Prairie View, right? Yep. We know how they traveled to Texas last year.
Yes, sir.
With everything on the line. They're going to have to prove that they can win a big game like that in Texas, to me.
And they're going to Texas back-to-back. So I'm curious. So, Coach, let me ask you a question. Alcorn, they wouldn't stay out there the whole week, right? They will come back home, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
Why you say they're going to Texas twice?
Yeah, because the previous week doesn't
No, Texas 7 go to Alcorn.
Alcorn, okay, that's right. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, yeah, that's in Mobile.
Down to the 23rd.
Not Mobile. Yeah, you're right.
Now, can Coach Graves save his job with UAPB coming to town?
He better win it. I'm giving him that. He better win it. He better win that game. That's point blank, period.
Then we got Bethune and Texas Southern.
Man, I'm like Blue. I'm on this Texas Bethune-Cookman bandwagon hard. I might have them winning 8 games already. Jeez.
So you got Texas Southern.
I got
beating
Texas Southern.
You beating University of Lynchburg and now beating Bethune-Cookman.
Ooh, no.
I'm taking Bethune-Cookman. I'm riding with them Wildcats. Where my boy Hell Wildcats? Let's get that. Let's go.
I got to stick to the 23rd, Coach.
No, we got Mississippi Valley in Florida. Yeah.
Come on, man.
FAMU by 50.
Yeah. Let me go give FAMU another victory. All right. And we can move to the 23rd.
I'm gonna take A&M over Valley.
I agree.
I'm gonna take State over PV. What you think, Campbell?
I'm taking Alabama State.
Damn, you've been picking Prairie View all night. I'm thinking you'll pick.
No, I'm like, hey man, I'm telling you, if Coach Robinson, he better understand what the mission is. It is Celebration Bowl or bust. Point blank, period. Ain't no in between.
Jackson State. Alcorn beat them last year.
Yep.
I don't see that happening this year.
Hey, Rocky. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Jackson State going where you're saying it, this will be Jackson State's second loss in the conference. FAMU would only have one conference loss based off what you said. That would have us win. If we beat Bethune-Cookman, that means we win the East again.
Well, I'm going to take Jackson State on that game.
So, okay, you're going to take Jackson State.
Yeah, I'm going to take Jackson State.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jackson State, and we're going to have a rematch of PV and Jackson State in the SWAC championship.
You mean Florida A&M?
No. PV.
No, he's taking Jackson State to win the East then.
Yeah.
Because he got Jackson State beating Alabama State. No, you got Jackson State losing to Alabama State.
No, I got PV losing to Alabama State. I got
Florida A&M played
I got Jackson State beating Alcorn.
Who do you have winning between Jackson State and Alabama State?
Oh, yeah, I had.
Jackson
I got Alabama State winning.
Okay, well there you go. So if they win that, and they beat Jackson State head to head, and then if CS was it gets funny.
There's a three-way tie then.
Yeah, three-way tie.
Three-way tie where?
Florida A&M, Florida A&M,
Jackson State, and Alabama State. All right, the first thing in the tiebreakers, who beat who head to head?
Well, and they would have done a round robin. Everybody would have lost each other once, one way or another.
All right, then you go to the scores. What was the scores?
No, what would happen is because are we saying that they didn't lose any other conference games at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to check that.
You go to the scores.
Yeah.
You go from head to head. Go to the scores.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
It's division record is the next tiebreaker.
But the division record is going to be the same because everybody only has one loss.
Okay. I agree. I agree with that. I'm just telling you the next tiebreaker is division record.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I said that. Then you go to the scores. Then you go to who went last year, the year before.
Wow.
We're going to pull that up. And no, Blue, no, we're not losing. Let me tell you something. We're not losing to Bethune-Cookman. I'm just trying to tell you that right now. We're not losing to Bethune-Cookman. That I'm not worried about.
So let's get through. So Jackson State and Alcorn, I got JSU winning.
I got Alcorn.
I'm going to take Jackson State. I think Jackson State wants to get their get back. I'm going to take Jackson State.
That creates a three-way tie right there.
Yep.
And then Texas Southern and UAPB.
TSU.
Both of these teams are winless going into the last game of the season.
I'm giving Texas Southern this win.
On the road at UAPB.
I got Texas Southern going 2-9, Coach.
Yep.
All right. So Texas Southern wins. UAPB takes a L. All right. Florida A&M and Bethune. That's pretty much, you know, we got that. and the Bayou Classic ends up being the Toilet Bowl Classic.
Hey,
two teams.
I'm taking Grambling.
With conference records.
Wherever Terrence Gray coaching at that time, he gonna win.
So we got him at Southern. Grambling takes the L. Wow.
Wherever Terrence Graves is coaching, they gonna win.
So,
Hey, Rocky, put Blue's Blue just broke down the SWAC tiebreakers. Put that up on the screen.
all right.
And there you go. That's the SWAC tiebreakers.
Division record, overall record. What does this mean by here? And combined record versus all common non-divisional teams.
If you play somebody outside and somebody else plays somebody outside, that counts. I don't remember it being that way. Tiebreaker after division record, overall record versus a non-division team in combined record. Okay, that's combined.
Well, see, they both gonna be undefeated against non-division opponents.
Right. So combined record, then versus all common non-division teams. Huh?
And then if you go with record against common opponents, that's gonna be the same too.
Yeah, I thought it was always record, head to head, who you beat, who I beat. You know.
So in that situation, even though PV has a worse record, even though PV would be, PV would be
overall,
because we got PV losing there. So PV would have 2 losses. Alcorn would have 2 losses. But PV would have the head-to-head.
The head, yeah, then they would win. The head-to-head would be first.
They would win. We don't even have to go through all that.
Since there's a 3-way tie for the SWAC in the East, does that mean PV by default would host it?
No, because if it depends. If they got 2 conference losses, no, the team that has only 1 conference loss would have that.
Right.
But they don't.
So no, it doesn't matter. No, because they would have the better conference. The East team would have the better conference record. They host.
Right.
Wow.
All right, man.
Yeah, hey guys, hey, we in for a doozy then. The way we pick this right now, we in for. So what we have here, this is just in the SWAC. In the SWAC, we got PV would have a record of 6-2. Alcorn would be 6-2. Jackson State would be 7-1. Alabama State would be 7-1. Bethune-Cookman, surprisingly, would be 5-3.
I'm telling you, you heard it here first.
Alabama A&M would be 3-5. FAMU, of course, would be 7-1. We have Mississippi Valley 1-7. We got UAPB, Ophir. We got Texas Southern pulling out a victory over UAPB, Pine Bluff. They would be 1-7. Grambling would be, because they lost the Bayou Classic, they would be 2-6. And the Southern Jaguars would be 3-5.
Oh wow.
Sounds right. I'm telling you.
Oh wow. Well, make sure you put that somewhere, Rocky, where we can.
Yeah. I am.
We don't lose it.
I am. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna type it up and make a screen. Because again, I don't think anything that we've said so far is unrealistic or far-fetched, other than all those wins for Bethune-Cookman.
Right. Because of one Mr. Campbell. We'll see.
I'm telling you, I'm buying that Bethune-Cookman stock. Y'all heard it.
But you got to realize though, Coach, we all agree that UAPB, Texas Southern, and Grambling will struggle.
Really,
and Valley.
I was gonna say all those teams are even. Grambling, UAPB, Bethune-Cookman, and Alabama A&M. They all just right there. They just all right there. None of them is gonna break out. They're gonna beat each other up. But that's what I see.
All right, guys, man. This been another great show, man. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Mr. Campbell, do you got anything to say before we sign off?
Hey man, listen. They thought that FAMU was in shambles, but we already recruit at a high level. So you know they sweating, brother. They sweating, and we got more announcements to come. So the rallies are back.
Well, look here, man. To the audience, friends, SWAC, we want to take this show on the road, and we've been talking behind closed doors. I've put together a proposal. So I'm asking you guys to send Rocky, send me, send Mr. Campbell stuff that you want to do. And these are the kind of things that we want to do. We want to go and promote HBCU football. It ain't all what people say. We want to go into the dormitories. We want to watch practice. We want to get to that HBCU. For instance, at my school at Texas Southern University, we all used to go to Frenchie's, Rob. Frenchie's Chicken. Man, I mean, we were raised on Frenchie's Chicken. And I'm sure Mr. Campbell was somewhere around Florida A&M that y'all used to go.
Absolutely.
And we want to put this show on the road. So we're going to be asking for some donations, Rocky and Mr. Campbell, and so we could get together and put this thing on the road and show America it ain't what you think it is. We want to show America what it is. We are more than the band. We are more than football. You know, we are academically strong. We are family strong. And we're going to need your help and donations to help us come together. And we're going to want to start in the spring and do 1 or 2 spring practices where we actually going to take our show to the campuses. So I want to thank you guys for continuing to follow us. And here's what I want you guys to do. Our next show, I want you guys to, or in the background, send Rocky some things that you want to see about Black colleges. Because we live in nice dormitories. We got apartment living. Our food is good in the cafeteria most of the time. All right? But the friendship and the camaraderie, we want to show the behind stuff that people don't see. And, you know, and that's always been my dream. We got some great young coaches in the conference. We got to salute them. We got to support them. And we got some hell of a football players. So we'll get together, Rocky and Campbell, and see if they want to donate money, set up some type of fund that we can do. But I want to just give you that a heads up. I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and I look forward.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. My experience so far in with HBCU football has been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to go visit more campuses and have more experiences. So I look forward to HBCU Coaches Corner being part of that entire experience as I move forward.
Mr. Campbell.
Always a pleasure, Coach. I appreciate you. Like I say, let me just be your coordinator on these shows. I really appreciate it.
Well, one thing I always say, man, when we're doing this and what we're trying to do is go to another level, you know, we ain't HBCU game day. We for real.
That's it.
We for real.
We know the folks out there.
Say, if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, you tie a knot and hold on tight. We holding on tight with this show because we're bad, just like you.
I love it.